Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping into what honestly reads like a tense investigative thriller. Except, unfortunately, every single bit of this is real. We're unpacking not just one, but two massive corruption scandals that have absolutely shattered public trust in the institutions meant to find our best and brightest minds. We're talking about a multi-state web of deceit, millions of rupees in public funds, high-level cover-ups, and ultimately, tragic losses of life.
It's a chilling question, right? What happens when the ultimate test is rigged? For thousands of hardworking aspirants, these Public Service Commission exams are everything. They represent hope, a secure future, the payoff for years of grueling study. But when you have systemic institutional betrayal, when the gatekeepers themselves literally sell the keys to the kingdom, it doesn't just ruin individual careers, it destroys the foundational trust we place in our government.
So, let's dive right into this. We're looking at two parallel, equally devastating scandals that, incredibly, share the exact same acronym, APPSC. First, we have the Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission, where a brazen scheme involved fabricating OMR evaluations. And right alongside it, the Arunachal Pradesh Public Service Commission, which suffered catastrophic question paper leaks. Two different states, two totally different methods, but one shared legacy of institutional collapse.
Act 1. The scheme. Let's look at how these frauds actually happened.
Let's put on our forensic lens for a second and look at the sheer audacity of how these operations worked starting down south. Here's how the 2018 Andhra Pradesh Group 1 main scheme unfolded step by step. First, when the High Court ordered a fresh, manual evaluation of digital answer scripts, Secretary PSR Anjay Nulu allegedly bypassed established norms completely. He just ignored the objections of his own senior officials. Step 2, without any competitive bidding or tender, a private agency gets hired. And Step 3, and this is where it gets cinematic in the absolute worst way, the operation was moved to a private location, specifically the Hailand Resort in Guntur, where workers simply copied pre-decided marks onto OMR sheets in a total sham of an evaluation.
And this detail just perfectly illustrates the complete lack of accountability. According to the police remand report, an assistant secretary of the confidential wing explicitly told these hired workers during their orientation, "Do not evaluate, just write the marks given to you and sign as examiners." Just think about that. No CCTV cameras, no actual assessment happening. Just a literal factory of fabricated results operating out of a private resort.
Meanwhile, over in Arunachal Pradesh, a different but equally destructive scheme was playing out. During the 2022 Assistant Engineer examinations, the Deputy Secretary and Deputy Controller of Examinations, Taka Gerang, was identified by investigators as the Kingpin. He allegedly tampered with sealed packets, bypassing the exact security protocols he was hired to enforce. He accepted massive cash payouts from private individuals to leak the papers before the exam even took place.
Act 2. The fallout. Let's get into the consequences. A secret this massive just cannot stay hidden forever. Let's look at the numbers because they truly tell the story here. 66. That is the number of completely unqualified individuals hired by that private agency in Andhra Pradesh. 66 people who had absolutely no business grading high-level civil service exams, sitting in a resort, forging the futures of countless candidates.
And the cost of this massive operation? Over 1.14 crore rupees. That is public money, taxpayer funds entirely misused to orchestrate this fraudulent evaluation process. To put that into perspective, the financial scale of the deceit in Andhra Pradesh is just staggering.
Now, take a look at this rapid-fire statistic from Arunachal Pradesh, 46. That's the sheer volume of arrests made in connection with their paper leak scam. And you know what's truly shocking? Out of those 46 individuals, 39 were government officials. The rot wasn't just coming from the outside. It had completely infected the inside of the institution. Let's track how rapidly the Arunachala investigation escalated. In August 2022, a brave candidate filed a police complaint suspecting a leak. By September, the exams were entirely canceled. Come October, the chairman of the APPSC resigns on moral grounds and is soon followed by other commission members. And by January 2023, the CBI, the Central Bureau of Investigation, had totally taken over, conducting massive raids and filing cases for irregularities that stretched all the way back to 2014.
But amidst all the arrests and the massive raids, there's a deeply human cost to this story. We really need to pause and remember Gamar Padang. He was the young candidate,
the whistleblower, who courageously filed that initial FIR in August 2022 that blew the lid off the entire Arunachal scam. Tragically, he passed away on May 5, 2023, at a hospital in Hyderabad after battling a prolonged illness. His actions sparked a complete revolution for transparency, but he never got to see the final outcome.
The fallout took another incredibly dark turn in February 2023. Suspended APPSC Undersecretary Tumi Gangkak sent a haunting final text message to a group chat at 4:58 p.m. It read, "I have never been involved in APPSC paper leakage. I am innocent, but I am being targeted."
Shortly after sending that message, his phone went offline. The very next day, his body was found hanging from a tree near the Itanagar Zoo Road Tri-Junction. He had just been summoned by the CBI the day before. Police recovered shaving blades and 2 mobile phones at the mysterious scene. It added a devastating and highly suspicious layer of tragedy to an already complex criminal investigation.
Act 3. The Aftermath. The Demand for Justice.
When a system fails this spectacularly, citizens take to the streets. In Arunachal Pradesh, this public uprising was spearheaded by activists Sol Dodam and the Pan-Arunachal Joint Steering Committee. They actually marched on the civil secretariat with a rigid list of demands, declaring compromised exams null and void, an enforcement directorate and court-monitored probe, the establishment of a state administrative tribunal, and crucially, a whistleblower act to protect people like Gamar Padang. They threatened severe mass movements if these demands weren't met.
So the crucial point is, how does a government respond to this level of public outrage? Chief Minister Pema Khandu stated that his administration had handed the cases over to the CBI and initiated the removal of corrupted officials. However, addressing the core demand of the protesters, he noted a pretty complex legal hurdle, stating the government has no rule to declare the exams null and void as the APPSC is an autonomous body. Basically, because the commission has full autonomy, the state government can't just directly cancel the exams. This puts the protesters and the administration in a really tense legal gridlock.
Yet we are seeing absolutely unprecedented legal interventions unfold here. The governor of Arunachal Pradesh actually had to write directly to the presidents of India to initiate a Supreme Court reference just to constitutionally remove the last remaining member of their APPSC. Meanwhile, in Andhra Pradesh, a special investigation team submitted a final report to the High Court confirming that those Group 1 scripts were illegally evaluated in 3 different stages: digital, Hailand Resorts, and via Jawada. The absolute highest courts in the land are now having to clean up the mess left by these autonomous bodies.
And that brilliantly illustrates the core dilemma we're left with, and what I really want you to take away from this explainer today. If the gatekeepers of our institutions, the very people tasked with finding our future leaders, engineers, and officers, are corrupt, who evaluates the evaluators? How do we build a system that is truly immune to human greed? It's a heavy question, and one both states are currently bleeding to answer. Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the systems around you.